Alright, what's up you guys? I am here with the best WWE DVDs about female wrestlers. I'll also be doing the male wrestlers as well. But here we have Trish Stratus, the Stratus faction guaranteed. We have arguably one of the greatest female wrestlers of all time, Trish Stratus. Yeah, this was a 1-disc set. I still think that maybe they could go back and do a 2-disc set, honestly. But you have a 2.5-hour runtime. You have some extras, 3 bonus interviews, 4 extra matches, 7 classic Trish Stratus moments, and then behind the scenes footage. As you can see here, this is a great, it's a good DVD. I think it's a great way to kind of, display who she is and what she did. And this was released in 2003, so this is pretty early on, back before we were actually getting women's wrestling DVDs. So, this one, it's a great set. You can actually find it pretty cheap online. There's also the special edition that came with the bobblehead, which I think was FYE exclusive. So, I highly recommend this one. It may only be 2.5 hours, but at least she got her own DVD at a time when women weren't getting their own DVDs. Next up, of course, we have the Then, Now, Forever, the evolution of WWE Women's Wrestling, or WWE's Women's Division. This is a 3-disc set with a close to 9-hour runtime. And what this is it basically spotlights a bunch of different women's wrestlers. Do get an insert here. Like we have Lita, who's my personal favorite, Wendy Richter, Alundra Blaze, Victoria, Paige, Trish Stratus, Mae Young, Bayley, Natalia, Alexa Bliss, and you have different matches for each of them. Like you have Natalia and Charlotte for the NXT Women's title, Bayley and Sasha Banks, the Iron Man match, finally being released. We have the Women's Rumble, the Women's Chamber match. So this really does show the evolution and a lot of the firsts that we had for the division. So, this one has the most content of all the ones I'm going to show you today. But, I definitely recommend this one. Someone asked me how this was. I think it's good. If you're a fan of women's wrestling, then I think it's good for you. If you're not a fan of women's wrestling, then obviously it's not really for you. I've always been kind of neutral on women's wrestling myself. If the talent's there, then I'll appreciate it. But, I grew up in a different time, though. So, it's kind of hard to distinguish the two types there. But, next we have Lita, It Just Feels Right. This one is fantastic. You have great cover here. I'm a huge Lita fan. I always have been. And you have a runtime of 3 hours. Extras include 10 matches, home video clips, footage from the Divas shoot Lita in London and in Spring Break, Lita and the Hardy Boys, Chef Boyardee commercial, and still photos. But this one is fantastic. You have 2 chapters here and then extra matches. So you have Who is Lita, you have her big break. Of course, you're going to have her and the Hardys together, Team Extreme, versus Trish Stratus, versus Chyna, versus Stephanie. And then we have some extra matches down here. Bra and Panties match, Lita versus Trish. Hardy Boys and Lita versus Dean, Eddie, and Terry. Intergender versus the Radicals, Lita versus Molly Holly, Lita versus Dean Malenko. And then I already read off the extras there. So, this is a great set. Personally, I think this is my favorite of the women's DVDs, but I'm a huge Lita fan. And this was just a very well done DVD. And it was released in 2001, so it's still pretty rare. It's not too expensive. I think I got this for maybe 20, I think. So it's not that bad. But it definitely is hard to find. So let me know what you guys thought. And of course, there's always the Divas DVDs like the Tropical or They Go New York that include the posters and stuff. I don't have those. I don't really see a need to have those, really. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought. And for now, this has been the DVD Freak. Peace out.